Welcome to the Ultimate Hockey Podcast.
We're the best. I've been telling you the best. Yeah, fucking song!
I got a fucking rocket in my pants.
Campoli trying to clear it. Ball, shoot, score!
Hello, everyone. It's March 8th, 2025. Welcome to another episode of the Ultimate Hockey Podcast. And yesterday, we had a good time going to the Vancouver Canucks game versus the Minnesota Wild. And today we're here, but missing a buddy. John is sick at home. So,
yep, miss going to the Canucks game. Still stuck at home. Feel terrible.
And you're not coming to hockey on Monday either, are you?
Nope, man. I'm going to be signing in from here, my home, the goalie crease.
Okay,
Staying
right
home.
Yeah.
And it was a great game at that.
Johnny, how was your view of the game?
Good. Everyone looked pretty solid. Pettersson got his goal, so everyone was relieved about that, I'm sure. I wasn't there. Don't know how the crowd reacted, though.
The crowd erupted with Petey chants. It was pretty powerful. The only takeaway is that, like I said earlier, it was his 12th goal of the season.
Yeah, one thing I loved about that was that the Petey chant started in the third period, right before the Sherwood goal. Mm-hmm. So we could feel it building up. And we were in a bad place. Like it was that classic Canucks moment where we had the lead, we blew the lead, the momentum was snowballing the other way, and then all of a sudden the Petey chant started. Mm-hmm. Let's go, Petey. And then I caught that on video as it was building up, and then 10 seconds later, Sherwood scores the game winner. So it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, no, and even like going back to Petey's goal, I remember sitting there, and there was a guy, like a row back, a few seats over, you know, and as people do, we're shooting the breeze, and he's talking to the guy next to him, what have you. And it's not like they're like hard on Peterson or, you know, on Petey or anything. But the comments are made, oh yeah, you know, here he comes, soft Petey, whatever. Because like one of the earlier plays, he had got pushed down in the corner, what have you, and it's like, yeah, well, guy fucking pushed him down, right? So, yeah, it was like literally the next play. There he is in his office, and what a hammer. What an absolute hammer of a shot.
It was a beauty. Top
shelf. Yeah. Like, you know, that's what got him the contract, and hopefully that's what we're signing for the next, you know, long time coming, because I really do think he wants to stay here. Like, I saw the some clips from after the game. I'm pretty sure it wasn't like this morning. I think it was like, you know, post-game stuff. And you see the smile on his face. You can tell, like, you know, it's a little bit of a weight lifted off his shoulder. It's a little bit of like, you know, it is for him, it's going to be a little bit momentum in that positive direction. And that's what he needs. And if he gets going, that's exactly what the team needs. They need him to get going, especially right now with Hughes out. So the goal's got to come from somewhere. Sherwood, you know, he's, again, like that pit bull, you know, chihuahua, whatever, in front of the net, just looking for trouble, getting into trouble, stirring the pot, getting goals. Love it, right? So, yeah, he's a hell of a hockey player too. So, yeah, I mean, it was a great team game. It was a great team effort and great team win. Lankinen looking like a solid number one, but maybe we could talk about that a little later. But, yeah, it was a good game. I thought it was an extraordinary game, and, yeah, I'm glad to see Petey get one.
Do we think the media is going to back off a little bit now that he's gotten a goal?
Well, so interestingly, like the other day, and I caught this and I kind of wrote it down, like, I mean, fuck, I could talk about Rick Tocchet forever, you know. I could probably talk about everything forever, as everyone would say. But, yeah, no, like...
Tocchet wanting to trade The media tells you the media will never back
Well,
off.
you know, the last couple of days, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, they've been jovial back and forth with some of it. And even Petey, like, I think he kind of came out and because what did he say? They were annoying. Fucking the media, you guys are annoying or something, right? Like, because he's pissed off and he's in a spot.
He's getting frustrated, too.
Absolutely. So, but he addressed that. Like, he came out and he addressed that. And he was like, hey, I can't be saying that stuff. I can't be saying that stuff to you guys. There's people looking, yada, yada. And that was really big of him. And then Talkit spoke to that. And I thought that was really cool because, like, that's the coach supporting his player, right? This is like, hey, man, I'm supporting him. We support him. Here we collectively go. And that's not something that he's really been in a position to say for some time because it's been, well, there's the drama, there's more of the drama, there's the, you know, like, and he can't really step in. He can, but then he puts everyone in a spot, right? So, yeah, I think it's like you can kind of tell that the media, I think too, like even after Pettersson talks to them, how that interaction went today. I mean, yeah, everybody's happy because everybody's scoring goals and like we're winning, right? So it'll be interesting to see. Not that I want to see a struggle, but like, yeah, like let's say he goes on another slump or something or what have you. How that looks moving forward, but right now, who knows? I wish they would. I wish they'd leave the guy alone. Like, focus on something else. But it's the thing to talk about. We're talking about it, right? So.
I think the loudest voices are the haters.
And Vancouver has a lot of them.
Well, at the game, like you said, you heard one guy bugging Petey.
Yeah. I mean,
but I think the most people around us were like super supportive. Like they were I think the majority of people they understand that we got to be supportive, and Vancouver's had a history. Schneider, Luongo, of causing problems. So, anyways, I think Vancouver's on the right track.
Cody Hodgson.
Ryan
There's
Kessler.
another one.
Yeah.
I was going to say Schneider trade was all because of Kessler.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with fans, I don't think.
No.
Tell us.
Wasn't
Explain.
Wasn't Ryan Kessler?
What did Kessler
Kessler
do,
was
bro?
sleeping with Schneider's wife.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Schneider had been with her since like high school or something. He wanted to save his marriage. He's like, trade me. I want to work at this. I don't want Kessler getting in the way.
Damn,
Kessler's
I forgot
like a dirty
about that.
dog when it comes to women.
Might have to edit this.
And it even goes back further than that. Wasn't it 94?
All that. I mean, yeah, man. There's infidelity. Ask Bedard what the hell happened with his mom or whatever, like this year, last year, whatever it was, right?
Right.
Like, who knows, man? Hey, what happens behind closed doors?
Well, it's a snowball effect, right? Like a little piece of information catches some traction, and it just builds and builds and builds, and the story gets flipped and turned, and just it gets crazy.
You ever been in the Roxy when Kessler was there? It was disgusting.
No, have you?
Yes, many times.
And what did you see?
Do I have a drink here? Microphone. This is Kessler. Pulls his hat down low, hits the dance floor. A girl comes up, starts dancing with him. He'll be like, look, nope, not good enough. Turns, waits for the next one. Maybe.
What are you doing?
Kessler would be on the dance floor. He'd be swigging his beer, hat down low, hoping no one recognizes him.
Okay.
And he would just like wait for women to approach him because all the women would be gossiping about that he's in the building or whatever in the club. So he'd just be on the dance floor dancing. He'd just like, girl would come up and start dancing in front of him. He'd look at her. Nope. Turns his back, keeps dancing. Another girl would come up, start dancing in front of him. Might turn his back again. And then when he gets one he likes, he's like, yep, starts dancing with her. Like 10 minutes later, he's gone.
He's half.
Multiple nights.
He's half hoping nobody recognizes him. Like he's hoping one of those chicks recognizes him.
Yeah.
Faux show. Like
Kessler, great guy on the ice, terrible guy maybe off the ice.
Well, yeah. I mean, hey man.
Lots of team events he was excluded from.
No, I was bringing up Luongo Schneider because Luongo was getting a lot of heat in our playoff run in 2011, and all I heard was just, people bitching, put the other guy in net, put Schneider in net, and it was not good. Like, you could feel the tension, and you've got some stories of people going up to Luongo and telling him he was,
That was my own hockey team at the Cactus Club, yeah.
Yeah. What was that story?
Just Luongo was having dinner, like after a game, goes for dinner or whatever. And we're in there celebrating, I don't know what, a win, a loss, a reason to celebrate. And like at this point, everyone's kind of been ragging on Luongo. They don't know he's going through a divorce during our playoffs or his wife's threatened divorce at that point. No one knows that, but he's in Cactus Club having a meal with, I'm guessing, another hockey player from the visiting team or something. And then, like, my team starts like, oh, Luongo's terrible. Like, why are we putting up with him? And they're saying it loud enough for him to hear it at the table, like, next to us kind of thing. And I was just like, listen to it for a bit. And then I'm like, guys, like, leave him alone. He's, like, here for dinner. He's done work. Let it be. But, like, I'm sure he got that a lot in the public. I know when he started doing practice skates and then I wasn't going, I was still doing stuff at the arena. And I would show up and he'd see you and you like look at him, make eye contact, and he'd like book it for his truck because he's like wanting nothing to do with the media or people at that point. He's fed up, right? But it was just like, yep, have a nice day. Just smile and nod and walk on. But, like, so many people picked on him in the city and no one knew why he was like having a shaky time or whatever. I thought he played well. Going through a divorce or threatened of divorce, right? His wife was like, move back to Florida or I'm going to leave you. During our 11 playoffs with Boston. Fun way to be a professional, right?
Yep. All right, let's move on. Trade deadline expired yesterday. Florida Panthers picked up a big gun.
Brad Marchand.
Our favorite, your favorite.
Little rat.
Isn't their mascot a fucking rat?
No, it's a cat.
No, it's a rat, bro. You know how they throw the rats onto the ice?
Yeah. And I'm here to tell you, they're nailing that thing on the head, bro. Like, what was the line I saw? Like, you're going to play against the Kachuk. Who else?
Bennett.
Was it Bradley? Bennett. Kachuk, Bennett and Marchand line. Like, no thank you. Ugh. I mean, yeah, I guess I'm just punching Marchand. Anyway. Yeah, that's wild. I mean, and then we lose a defenseman who I thought was a stud.
Susie. For
like a bag of pucks. And I mean, I guess, being at the game and kind of seeing how we look on D, even without Hughesy Poo there, the new guys look pretty good, right? So I guess, like, I get it, but Susie's a gritty guy, and there we are, losing some more grit, right? Like, we're turning into the Swedish Mafia house mix here, like, which is, hey, man, I love the Swedish Mafia, but
we need to get rid of the Swedes.
Whoa, clip that. How about we clip that?
Let me elaborate.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of his very short YouTube career. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Let me elaborate. We need to stop drafting the Swedes. We need to stop drafting the Swedes. Okay. Let's bring it back. Let's get some good Canadian players, North American players, and stop focusing on the Swedish hockey players.
Agreed. And also, I think too, like you look at Finnish hockey players and you look like, some of them play North American hockey.
Yeah.
But and that's kind of a, what does that mean, you racist? Well, hey man, like guys that like to go dig in the corners and stuff, and that's it. I find that sometimes these guys just aren't willing to change their way, change their mentality, their playing style, right? Like Ovi did, right? Ovi became that two-way player and that physical body and everything. Like, he drank the Kool-Aid that he needed to. And, I mean, you know, not immediately, but it ended up getting him a cup. You know, so, yeah, no, I don't want to say I agree, but, like, I agree that, you know, there has to be that type of mentality and that type of hockey play, and we're lacking it currently.
It just seems to me like the Vancouver organization likes to draft a lot of Swedish players.
Yeah.
Right?
I think they like high skill players, and that's what they're looking for. And Europe is ahead of Canada and the US on developing high skill players.
100%. Yeah.
Well, and goaltending, too.
Yeah.
Look at the goalies hitting the league.
But the difference in players is you over in Europe and that you're playing usually on Olympic size ice.
Yeah.
But you don't get used to the physicality as much.
Yeah.
John, you were saying that JT Miller was doing some tampering. You want to explain to our viewers what the hell that means?
Yes. So I heard from a little birdie, I don't know how accurate it is, but I heard that JT Miller was being accused of tampering and getting Connor Soucy, not Connor.
Carson
Soucy, to remove his trade clause in the attempt to get him to come to New York. And the NHL has been notified of this, or they've found out about this, and they are investigating. And I'm not sure what the penalty is, or if it's a fine. I'm not too sure what the rules are against that. Like, I know we were
Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, no, I
No,
agree.
serious.
I
like,
agree.
we were talking about, like, with LeBron and all this
exactly,
in the NBA,
recruiting.
they kind of do this. Even they will not take the full salary even sometimes. So, like,
To help them out.
to get the win, right? But, like, seriously, like, so Carson's like, yo, JT, what's it like over there? And maybe he sends him a picture of him in the hot tub, and he's like, yeah, bro, we need you.
Yeah.
Get your ass over here.
Yeah.
Is that not allowed, I guess?
I don't see anything wrong.
I mean, well, you know, like, I'm sure at a business level that's a problem. But seriously, but so what? So I'm going to waive my clause? That doesn't mean he walks in and he goes, hey, you can trade me to New York, and that's it. Like, no, man. Like, I'm sure there's a little bit more to it or whatever, right?
Well,
like,
I'm sure New York was in with
maybe
JT Miller saying,
Yeah,
who can, you know.
Well, I guess we'll see, because unfortunately,
Yeah.
well, whatever. We don't have either of them anymore. So
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
maybe we get something out of it. Do we still owe Luongo money? Can we stop paying that now?
No, but I heard that Shea Weber got traded yesterday to Chicago.
Did he?
His contract did. By the Utah Hockey Club.
Right. Yeah. But he's not ever coming back, right?
Nah, he was done in 2020.
Long-term IR.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just freeing up cap space, I guess. That's how things were. I don't like all this trade talk, you know? Like, I like just watching the game and, like, who's going where. I like when players stay on their team like they did back in the 80s, you know?
And it doesn't seem like there's very many hockey trades anymore. You know, like, hey, we need a good D and you need a good winger. I got this guy and you got that guy. What do you say? You know, like, you don't really ever see that. It's a lot of picks and futures and contract dumps and budget, you know, which is fine, but I feel like it does kind of take a little romance out of the game, because, like, the next time those two teams play, you know that winger is going to try real fucking hard to get around that D-man and vice versa. So
I'm kind of curious, actually, as to what goes on in their war rooms during the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to
cool
see
to
some behind the scenes, like what
it'd be
what
cool
actually
to check out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It starts well in advance. And here's a good conspiracy theory. The LTIR conspiracy.
Yeah.
Because Matthew Tkachuk goes down and it frees up just enough space for Marchand to come in. Not only that, but the Bruins are still paying half his contract. So we know Tkachuk's going to come back for the playoffs, and this is the way it's been working in Florida, even with Tampa Bay with Kucherov.
Vegas
so
was doing it too.
Mark Stone.
Yeah. Vegas
So
did it.
it's sick, right? Like it's like the baseball thing.
It's a loophole.
Yeah.
It's a loophole. And teams are taking advantage of that.
Does it make it fun for the fans?
No. Well, for the fans, maybe. For the fans of the team, right, that are potentially going to win a cup.
Yeah.
Would
Fans enjoy it because they get their star player with another star player or something.
Yeah.
What do you think, Elliot?
You got
nothing?
something?
No,
Come on.
no.
Spit it. This is the place to spit it out.
What do I think? What?
Marchand going to Florida, is it cheating?
Hey, man. I think it was the first episode we talked about the greatest cheater of all time in Patrick Waugh, right? Like, if you're not cheating, you're not trying, right? In F1, in everything. So, we're in politics, like we're seeing it, right? If you can get around it and make a little money or make a little profit or gain an advantage, you're an idiot if you don't. So it sucks for us, again, because it takes a little bit of the romance out of two teams lining up and fucking smashing into each other. But, like, it's part of it. Like,
Okay, so I'm going to call you out.
Oh, go right
I'm
ahead.
going to call you out because the couple episodes
Oh,
prior,
here we go. I know it's coming.
you know it's coming. You were all against Quinn Hughes coming to play. And you said it was dirty pool if someone was to fake an injury to have him come up.
That's right.
So how is this any different?
Because they would be faking a fucking injury.
But that's essentially what...
No.
Yeah, Kachuk is faking an injury.
Yes.
Is he?
He is.
That's what we're
He
talking
got-
about.
he got
This is
hurt.
why I brought it up.
This is what we're talking
You
about.
think he's still faking
Do you think
it?
Kucherov did that? Was faking
I
it? Do you
mean-
think Stone was faking it? That's what I'm saying.
That's
Are these
yeah,
players
Okay,
faking it?
if you put it, if you spin it that way, yeah, that would be kind of shitty. But hey, man, like Vegas did it with
Right.
Mark Stone. Like they
Right.
put, but the guy had an operation and shit, right? So like,
So
yeah,
whoever
I'm gonna be fishing this week if it gets us the cap space. Sure. So long as nobody knows we never had a conversation. You know what I mean? Like, who knows whatever the fuck went down with.
Right.
And who knows what's happening with this now still. But it's tough to say if they're faking the injury or not or whatever. Like, I don't want to. Who knows?
because it's working, right? Like
Well-
Tampa Bay won the cup, Vegas won the cup, Florida
and Vegas-
didn't. Well, they won the cup, but they're going to do it this year. And are they going to win the cup? Well, they're going to have a good chance. But what I'm saying is that this takes the credibility or the
Man.
It's the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
This-
Yeah, it cheapens it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, it's,
Stone went down 2 years in a row just before playoffs. That's what started the whole conspiracy. The first year was very iffy,
yeah.
right?
What about Kucherov?
Second year, yeah, he had an operation, but he comes back just in time for playoffs.
I mean, honestly,
Probably
like,
because the team looked at it and was like, okay, we want you back by this point.
I don't think with Marchand it matters that much because Boston's still paying his contract, some of it, right? So I think they would have figured the money out with the injury, with not the injury, whatever, anyways.
I could be wrong, but
Right,
I think
like,
Marchand is out too. He's injured.
Yeah, but he still had, like, they have to pass a physical or something to get traded, I think. So, like, like you can't trade a guy with a fucking you got a couple weeks to live, but yeah.
Who was it?
Buff out. It'll buff right out, but no,
do you
like,
guys remember this is off topic of hockey.
Oh, boy.
But there was a CFL draft.
No, I already don't remember.
And one of the CFL teams drafted a player that was dead.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. That's pretty
I didn't
good.
hear this.
This was
That's
years and
pretty
years
good.
ago.
That's funny.
They drafted a player that had died like a couple weeks prior.
That's terrible.
I'm gonna look it up and I'll find it and I'll get you guys.
I hope they like meant to, like, oh, like,
No,
he was a good player, and
it was not like that at all.
that's what their PR guy needed.
Yeah,
to
that's
do.
exactly what they told them.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, move on.
Moving
Fuck.
on. Okay, let's go with.
Fifth round, Montreal Alouettes drafted James Inc., who had died from cancer in December.
See,
Yikes! How long ago?
it
That's 1995. He died from cancer. It was the 96 draft.
Dude, that's not that long ago.
But that's what I mean.
I thought this would be like in the 50s or something, like when news didn't maybe travel around so fast. The 90s? Like,
Yeah. I know.
James Ekin from Northern Illinois, 5th round in the league's draft.
I'm pretty sure emails were a thing then. So, yikes. Oh, well.
Johnny, is your light on inside your room there, or are you sitting in the dark?
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, I was looking up the stuff on the guy, James Egan.
Oh, it's, yeah.
Okay, now I wanted to bring this up. The 43-0 blowout in a teenage hockey game. Okay, now this was interesting because this kind of ties into Ryan Kessler. Kessler is supposedly one of the coaches of this team that is dominating the league or whatever. But yes, this happened. 43-0. The shots were like 110-0. The team didn't get one shot on net.
Did they show up?
Yeah. And in fact, Kessler was on the Spinning Chicklets show, and he goes, well, you know, the other team, LTIR, we got to give them credit because they didn't let up at all. And I just want to see this footage because, like, how do you lose 43-0 and not let up? Well, I guess they kept coming on the ice. That's one way you don't let up. But what is going on? What do you guys think of that?
Obviously, one of the teams is not in the right. What do you call it?
Well, how did they get matched up?
Well, that's what I mean.
Like, how does that happen? Because, like, remember, you know, not to, like, hey, everybody, like, the 5 people that watch the show that we have following us, I love it.
We got 160.
100, see?
That happened quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but my point is, like, I know we're, like, West Coast show or whatever, but, like, the professor, basketball dude, the and one guy. Mm-hmm. Sorry, not him. Jason Williams. I get them mixed up. Anyway, they're both white, right? White chocolate. So he was talking about going to like a semi-pro kind of show before, I think even before. And yeah, they were favored by like 60. Like before the game. Like it was like, oh yeah, they're going to like, so why would you do that? You know, like that's, anyway, but that's fucking pretty demoralizing for that other team, unfortunately. Like, I don't care how good they think they are to everybody else. Like, you go up and you get slaughtered by a team like that. Holy fuck.
What kind of impact does that have on the other team, the players?
That's what I mean.
Right?
Depends how the coach phrases the whole system of it.
Under 14?
Yeah. And
is your coach mad that you lost, or is he super happy? Because you played your heart out for the 3 periods, even though you lost terribly.
And is it a systems
a learning
thing?
experience.
Yeah, like it could be that too, right? It could be like a systems breakout thing or something where one team is coached and the other just quite isn't. You know, who knows? But that's weird. That shouldn't be happening.
Well, it could be just, you know, one division is at this level, and then the other association, because of their population, they're in the same division, but they don't have the players to draw on.
Send their blind guys.
Here, let me read this to you, John. A minor hockey team coached by former Vancouver Canucks forward Ryan Kessler has taken heat over the past week. Kessler served as the head coach for the Michigan-based Little Caesars under 14 team, which includes his 15-year-old son, Riker. They're currently ranked top teen in their age bracket, 56-2 record. And then they faced off against LTIR's team, and they won 43-0. They had to play 40-minute long games, so 16-minute periods. And then here's the quote. Took a lot of heat on that one. I wasn't even in the state, Canucks legend said. I watched that one at Joey's on my phone.
Oh, man.
Saw that beating. It's too
himself.
bad. That's not a game we set up. It's actually a playoff game. We have 8 teams in our league, and unfortunately, USA Hockey and playoffs make you play all 48 minutes. There's no time, no mercy rule. So this is the USA system.
Yeah, and you know what? I bet you.
Correct what you said first, Andre. You said his 15-year-old was playing in an under 14 league. I think you might want to double check that.
This is
because how does a 15-year-old play in a U14 game?
DH Sports. That's a good.
It's
That's a
probably
good-
birth year, right? So like at the beginning of the year, they're all U14, but then or 14, and then bang, he gets.
I just figured we should double check.
Yeah, that is weird, but yeah,
That does.
like stuff like that happens in soccer or whatever, where like you're.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe this article was written
makes
by
more sense. I never
AI or
thought of
something like that. But good catch, Johnny. All right, we'll look into that. Let's move on.
So they do have blind hockey, by the way. As I don't know.
Puck has a bell in it.
It has ability, yeah.
Pete Rose, unlifting the ban. That's what you wanted to talk about there, Elliot.
I mean, is it official? I don't think it's official yet. Yeah, they're
Right.
considering it, right? It just it sucks because I mean the MLB, it's all fucking ego all the time with the umpires and all the thing, right? And like I hate that. Okay, the guy bet on baseball.
Do you know the story?
He bet on his team to win. So he says all the time, right? So, and then you hear all like, he's not the only guy, but he's the guy that got busted, and he's the guy that came down, lifetime ban. And I just think it's a tragedy because this guy, he did a lot for the sport. He continued to do a lot. I mean, he was on all of the shows. Like he maintained such a positive attitude moving forward, like that even a lot of, like he's up there with, I can't remember if it was Jeter or whomever, like, and they're talking about his swing and how he would do things in that. And there's other pros up there, like younger than him, obviously, that are like, like they played their whole life and talked to so many people, and yet he's still teaching them. You know what I mean? Like, so this is a guy that kind of gave everything. And when he apologized and when he ever spoke about it, it was nothing but emotional for him. Like, because you could see how tragic he was. And to not lift it while he's alive so he can experience some of that joy, to take that from him, that's pretty shitty. Because I think that they've been considering this for too long of a time. How long does it take? How long does it take for one guy or two guys or a jury of people to sit there and be like, okay, what's the deal? Right? Do we uphold this or not? And then put it to rest. And then come out and have the commissioner say, hey, no, lifetime is lifetime. And unfortunately, he's the one that has the example made of. And moving forward, yeah, it'll have to be looked at or something. But it's just shitty. It's just a tough spot. Like I don't have a horse in the race. I'm not like a big Phillies guy or a baseball guy or what have you. I just think that because of like,
Wasn't he the Reds?
or Cincinnati Reds, sorry, yeah. Thank you. Fucking hate mail coming my way for that one. But yeah, like it's just, yeah, it's too bad. I don't know. That's how I feel about it, right? Like it's kind of one of these things that's like, gives me the no feeling. Like that should have.
I think what it comes down to, though, is if he was betting on his own team, that's where the problem is.
To win.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
To win or lose.
Fair.
Right? Like, I don't see a problem with a Major League Baseball player betting on an NBA game or betting on an NHL game. But when you're betting on your own team, win or lose, it's kind of shady. Because you could purposely lose and take the loss.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Or you could call your teammate or old friend that plays for the other team and say, hey, I really need this win. I bet $100,000. I'll give you 25.
Or
Mike-
just get your interpreter to do it for you.
Oh, Shohei Ohtani.
True.
Boy, they're looking the other way pretty good this year over that, aren't they?
Yeah.
Where's his reprimand? Anything? Is he still He's still swinging the bat, throwing the ball? Is he? He's still playing the game.
Yeah. Because it was all
You're not going to get rid of
Yeah.
the new face of hockey.
Yeah, because
If
how
Connor
much
McDavid
fucking
went and
money is he
gambled on his
worth? How
team,
much
no one's
fucking money is he worth to the MLB right now?
$1 billion.
And how much was he worth? How much was Pete Rose worth at the end?
Not that much.
Right? So it pisses me off. Like that
You're right.
really pisses
You're right.
me off.
And their mentality behind that
Totally.
too is they've got the whole countries.
Yeah.
Asia. it's
Set
all-
your
it's
fucking
all
example.
watching. Yeah, no, I get it.
And this is why I posted that story about Michael Jordan.
I was going to say,
Did
Michael.
you see,
what?
Did you read?
No.
You didn't hear that one? So
Like he bet too,
I
right?
posted the Jeremy Roenick interview. He was on some podcast telling a story about how him and Michael were on the golf course. They golfed at an 18-hole game, and Roenick won a bet, and they decided to do it again. And Roenick won another round, so that's 36 holes. And now Jordan's got to go play, and he's like, "Well, they set up some type of bet."
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but that's a personal
and
bet.
Roenick was like, "Wait a minute, you've played 2 rounds of golf. You're
All
You're-
sun fucked. Like you're just
you've been
12
drinking
beers.
12 beers, 12 Coors Lights or Bud Lights throughout the course, and you think you're going to beat the spread tonight or something." It was something crazy.
I think he had to get a certain amount of points too, or something.
That's
yeah.
right. He ended up getting a crazy score. The Bills like blew them out of the water. Yeah, it was a personal bet, but we all know Michael Jordan and his gambling problems. So we know that he was probably doing this. And there's no way that they're going to incriminate him because of his status.
Well, from what I hear, they did kind of. And that's why he took a leave from the NBA.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Because it was like hey, this shit's going on. You need to fuck off. And he
Go
left.
play baseball.
Yeah.
You know, like this man. If we want to drive this show particularly
Wayne
a
Gretzky
certain
and his
way,
Drive it, baby.
no, because it brings up it kind of brings up to or speaks to how these guys get involved in that, and then how their lifestyle changes, and then they kind of become bored.
Yeah.
Like you see with Hollywood actors, they turn to drugs or whatever, right? Or all of the sex or whatever, anyway. But with athletes, some of them go back to like things they did like as a kid or whatever. I give you Roethlisberger and his motorcycle, and then he lays it down in the hallway or in the
road.
The road there, or
Highway.
the tunnel, I think. Right? So I just think, and then Mike Vick,
Dogfight.
the dog fighting ring, right? Here's a guy who this is how he was raised. This was what he spoke to, or I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but yeah, so when he has money and he doesn't have much, what are you going to do? What can I challenge myself with?
Yeah,
right?
Michael Jordan definitely had this problem because he even couldn't stand to be retired. He had to come back, and then he had to come back again to play for the Wizards.
And
He couldn't sit still.
And again, this obviously, I have a half pit bull, half boxer at home that I love dearly. It's not that I condone any of this behavior. It's just that this is what these people know. There isn't anybody steering their ship, right? I don't want to say that their parents should step in to these grown-ass adults who are making millions of dollars. But maybe the team or somebody should be like, yo, man, you need to kind of slow down or something, because it just gets a little wild for some of them, I think, and they can get into a little bit more trouble than they need to. I can't think of anyone in the last little while who's gone too crazy. I mean, other than the Team Canada junior team, that's a whole other bag of
Robert Kraft.
things.
What about the Russian player who gave up playing for nose candy and came back?
Who?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah,
There was a
yeah,
Russian
whatever.
player.
Anyway,
You guys know the Patrick Laney story
no.
about him playing video games and being addicted to video games? And I think it was Minecraft
Elias
or
Pettersson?
Fortnite, right? Yeah.
Elias
So, John, you probably know this story. Johnny?
No.
No?
I just know of it.
Yeah.
Apparently, he was just playing him and Austin Matthews was another one that had like, I guess, long time video game addiction.
Petey?
Playing Fortnite and other games until late at night till it started to affect their play.
Petey too. Yeah, Peterson too. Yeah, which is probably why part of the, like, so I've heard too, was part of the JT Miller thing. He had a problem with that.
Video games.
This is so loud. Yeah.
Yeah, well, video games are addictive.
Because like you're
no
you
joke.
know, team function or something, and he's like, no, man, I'm going to stay in tonight.
Yeah.
No, man, you need to
Or
come out
just-
with dinner with the rest of us. No, I'm fuck you, you yelly old prick. I'm staying in. Right? Like that could cause rifts, right? But like, dude, this is how, hey man, I had this conversation with my wife, unfortunately, who was watching me put components together today. But anyway, you play hockey until the lights go out, you have dinner, and then you probably pile over to someone's house to play Street Fighter until it's time for fucking bedtime, right? Like video games was kind of part of our way growing up, like this generation of growing up of like a thing to do. We didn't play cards, we didn't play backgammon or, you know, chess maybe. Like it was kind of like NHL 94 or, you know, and some people get it. Some people fucking don't. It's polarizing. It really is, right? Like, oh, you're just wasting time. No, man, I'm in a story, or I'm, you know, chasing a fucking dragon I've been chasing all fucking week. Like, and I'm finally about to get this you know, like, whatever it is, right?
It's an escape from reality.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Or a challenge that you can't get in reality.
absolutely. Yeah. Anyway.
But it's fine until it affects your sleep.
Yeah.
The biggest impact your sleep. Like those guys, they're regulated because it's like, okay, we got to adjust for this time zone and that time zone and that one. So you want to be in bed at, I don't know, let's say 10 o'clock p.m. Pacific time or 11 o'clock Pacific time. And then when you're over in another time zone, you still obey that bedtime. So you keep your body regulated, right? But if you're staying up 4 hours past that playing video games, it's going to affect your mental capabilities. Anything under, what is it, under 4 hours sleep is equivalent to some sort of brain damage, is some new study that I was reading today.
Uh-oh.
So it matters.
I'm
like
in
your
trouble.
sleep. Yeah, I must have so much brain damage.
Oh, buddy.
I barely get 4 hours sleep a night. Like, but the amount you sleep has such an impact on how well you function mentally. And playing that game at that speed, you got to be on top of it mentally.
Well,
I know
mean,
if I don't sleep well before a game, I'm shit.
Yeah.
I'll admit it.
You must not sleep before a lot of games then, huh?
Ooh, shots fired.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
walked into that one.
And I'm still better than you. What's that
I
say?
know. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say this week. I think it was this week, and I think it was Biz commenting about. Well, he commented about when he was like he got to practice with Mario, like preseason, I think, and then he got or no, because you think he was in Pittsburgh or anyway, but he was practicing with Mario. And that came up, something about, and I don't know if it was Mario that was smoking heaters, but he's like, yeah, the guy will go out, smoke 2 darts, come in and get a fucking hat trick. Like, he's like, no big deal, you know? Like, so.
Guy Fleur was like that.
Yeah, like,
he was
so
smoking in the dressing room.
Microsoft.
If the guy's doing, like, just let the guy cook, man. Like, if you need him to be ready to go at 7 to 9 o'clock. That's what you need him for 2 hours. In between those 2 hours, another player shouldn't be telling another player what to do, really. Like, really. Because that's what got that guy there. He knows what he should be doing. You know, unless he's a rookie or something and like, hey, man, where's your fucking luggage at, right? Like, but yeah, it drives me, like, if guys want to stay in, if guys kind of want to just do their own thing or, you know, man, let them. But they all have to be pulling on the same rope the same way at the end of the day. Right? And hopefully we will be.
I mean, addictions come and go. So if you recognize the symptoms happening to somebody, you got to say something.
Yeah. And how bad was the addiction? How often, addiction, like how often were they doing this? Like,
It doesn't matter. If it's affecting your game or your career or the season. I don't know.
They said it affected his play so
It
bad
was.
that someone
It
finally
was.
banned
Yeah.
his account and made a difference.
Yeah.
Then it needs to be addressed and it needs to be taken care of.
No, for sure, right? And if that's the case, I'm not privy to that. I don't know, right? But yeah, absolutely.
All right. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
I mean, Ovi's, didn't he get another one? He's like 9 away now.
Ed.
Was that tonight?
Yesterday or tonight?
Yeah, it's 9 or 10, but I don't know what the count 10 is for. Is it for, it's to pass him, right? So
Yeah.
I think he is 9 to tie, 10 to
pass.
go, 10 to pass.
I thought he was going to get it before the trade deadline.
Well, he's close. Okay. Closer than I am.
Well,
so I mean, yeah, it's again, he's just so much fun to watch. I fucking love that guy.
yeah.
And I watched, there was a good meme or whatever, a short something, when Ovi shows up to beer league and this guy standing there with the tinted visor that I used to have because when I was 18 I bought it too, and he's just standing in the circle.
It's a Pavel Barber. I see.
Yeah.
That.
Oh, and he's just standing there with and the guy's like, "Aren't you gonna move? Aren't you gonna move? Come on, move your feet." And the guy's just like, "Okay." And he feeds him the puck and whammo, right? Bing bang in the net. It's so funny. I was dying laughing because I'm like, this is everyone when they show up to beer league with that visor. It was me too. Anyway, but yeah, no, he's my boy. What else?
I'm down, buddy.
Well, I guess the fact that we went to the game last night to see Marc-Andre Fleury and
then I didn't even get to see
he
him.
didn't
You were not prepared. You were like looking at memorabilia to buy for this, and like, aren't you going to get something signed by him? Let's go to the April game.
Well, I'd like to try and get to the April game and see if he plays for that.
And I found out where they get signatures.
Okay, well,
So,
don't.
okay, John, you probably
spill
haven't
the
heard this-
beans. Don't spill the beans to everyone.
John, you haven't heard this story
Our
yet.
Patreon
but
account on our OnlyFans account.
yeah, you have to subscribe to
You'll have to
tier
subscribe
5.
tier 5 level 2.
Okay, so last night,
Try us on our Patreon for this next tip coming up. Like and subscribe.
last night I left my phone under my seat at Rogers Arena.
Oh yeah, shit.
And from the Shark Club, I found out on Elliot's phone that it was there. So I ran around the whole arena trying to get to gate 9. That one lady told me it's gate 9. You got to get into gate 9. So I go to gate 9, and that's where everything happens. You've got the kids waiting outside this little lane where all the players come out, and the players stop and they give them autographs. So there was a huge crowd of kids there. And then I go in because I have to get a security guard to go walk me to my seat so I can get my phone. And Sinclair and Granado and that hammer throw girl, they walk right past me. So I was like, wow, the gate 9, this is where you got to be if you want to get Fleury's signature.
I mean, yeah, I want to see him play so much in person because he's like, I think of Ovi. I'm glad I got to see that. I'm pretty sure I've seen Sid. I saw Jaeger play. But Fleury, because we're close to the same age, and I'm more like how he is, how jovial he is, and just how he is with the fans and everything. It's so cool to see. So, but there was a younger girl with her mom at in the store, and she had a pet like Gen 1 Fleury jersey, almost like his rookie jersey on, and she was rocking a big picture of his face and that, and I kind of talked to them and I was like, yeah, I'm here to see him too, and it's too bad he's not playing. And she was kind of bummed out. And then I mentioned, I'm like, yeah, I think they're back in April. And I was like, oh shit, mom's looking at me like, thanks, dickhead. Like, I gotta buy more fucking tickets now. But yeah, so I mean, if he's coming back and he's playing in April, that would be cool. And I think, it's pretty obvious he's kind of doing the victory lap, right? I think, it would be nice that, they don't have to. How do they do that, right? They're still trying to win games, but yeah, I
think management might put him in just for the fact that, it's your last one in Vancouver.
Let us give him his flowers. No pun intended, but for sure it's intended, right?
Yeah.
Because he's just one of the studs out there, and I love that guy so much. So anyway,
All right. So I just wanted to end things off with a story about my dad. This is
This
his shirt. my dad passed away last year, and I had quite an experience that I wanted to share because I know that my dad would love this podcast, and wherever he is, I hope he's watching. But John, you know this story, and I told you guys this story last night, but I'd like to say the story one more time for our viewers and if anybody's watching this in the future, because I think, you know, what we do here is great, but every once in a while we should, you know, tell our real stories, like, you know, like what's going on with us, right? So this is what happened. My dad passed away, and I thought he was with me. So when we were with him, like as he's passing, my mom and my sister were there, and we're holding him, and then he passed away. And I remember saying to him, like, if his spirit was still in the room, that he was welcome to, you know, jump on board and, you know, come if he wanted to, his spirit wanted to hang out with me, that was great. So I had some experiences that night where, you know, I was driving home and I'm like, Dad, are you there? And like the radio played Knocking on Heaven's Door by Guns N' Roses. And I was like, wow, that's a nice coincidence. And then the next morning, you know, I was feeling a little bit different. And, you know, I was asking my wife, I'm like, you know, I feel, you know, like reborn today for some reason. So I went into the mirror and I was like, Dad, are you there? And I saw a little twitch in my eye happen. And it was funny because I did that twice that day. And I was like, Jazz, come here, check this out. And the eyes twitching and everything like that. So I go through about a week of my dad kind of being there with me, and I'm talking with him. So, you know, this really made me a spiritual person because, like, you know, when you think you're actually talking with the spirit, like on a daily basis, you know, the belief grows in you, right? And I think it gets stronger as it's happening. So anyways, his funeral's going to happen, and I'm making a slideshow. And when I finished the slideshow, it was like 3 days of just emotional, like, pictures and music, and, you know, you just get into I'm crying like every other hour, and I'm exhausted when I finally finished the slideshow. And, you know, it's about noon on a Sunday, and I asked my dad, I'm like, okay, Dad, what should we do now? And for some reason, it just came into me, boom, Canucks game is on. You want to watch it. I want to watch it. Connor Bedard's playing. It was the first time Bedard was going to play the Canucks. I was like, damn, that's a great idea. So we put on the game. And, you know, the game's going on, and I'm like, yeah, no, Dad, I feel like we should be doing something else too. I'm going to throw on some of those audio tapes. So the background behind the audio tapes is that when I was like about 4, 5, 6 years old, my dad and I used to record our voices with a little radio, hit the record button, we'd sing songs like Thunder Road and all these old, like, songs from the prairies. It was crazy. But I'm listening to these audio tapes while I'm watching the Canucks game. And this is where the craziness happens. The Canucks win the game 5-2, the current game on the TV. So it's 5-2, game finishes. And just as the game is ending, I'm listening to a tape of myself when I'm 6 years old, and the little boy says, oh, and the Vancouver Canucks won 5-2 against the Chicago Blackhawks. And this is 1982. And I'm like, Dad, what does this mean? And it just clued into me. He's like, keep listening, because whatever's going to be said next is important. And sure enough, little 6-year-old Andre says, oh, and Gigi just died, my grandpa, and Bubba's home all alone. And she's sad, and he's feeling really sad there. So I was just like, wow. Yes, this is what this means. You know, like, my dad's just passed away, so my mom is home all alone, right? So it was like a message from my dad. I truly believe this, that, you know, I have to, like, be more aware of my mom's loneliness. So I took that to heart. I was like, dude, I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend more time with my mom. And I dropped everything right there and then. I'm like, I'm going to my sister's house to spend time with them. And so I get there, and my dad's best friend opens the door. His name's Ron Hunt. And Ron comes up to me, and he looks me in the eye, and he says, "Hey, Andre, you look like you got something on your mind." And I said, "Yeah." And so I told him the story of exactly what happened. And he goes, "You know, that's funny, because that's why I'm here." He came from Ontario to come a little bit earlier before the funeral to spend time with my mom so that she wouldn't be alone. So he was staying with her at her home with her. And he's like, it's important. So my lesson there and what I want to share with everybody is that, we got to take care of our people, take care of our family, spend time with them. And that's probably one of the biggest things that I think my dad would want me to share with everybody here. So,
right on. Nice. Yeah, man.
And that's how I'd like to end today's show, dedicated to my pa.
Awesome.
All right.
Very touching.
Well, Johnny, you heal up. We'll see you soon too, brother.
Yeah, John. Get well, buddy. What is wrong with you anyways?
I mean, that's a long list. You said you want to end on with your dad there. No, we can't get into that.
Oh, it's over.